affects this many small businesses. This is mostly about people who make a lot of money paying more money. Whether you're for that or against it, it doesn't matter to me at all, but that's where they're apart.
And the speaker is somewhat painted into a corner because so many of his members of his caucus are Tea Party members, and they all watched very closely the Indiana U.S. Senate race where Murdoch essentially primaried Lugar in Indiana. And I think so when these tax pledges that they've all taken, and I wonder what Grover Norquist thinks of what he's saying. He's going to be monitoring things very closely from the taxpayers' pledge that they've all signed. They're painted in a corner on no tax pledges. There's the political bombshell of slashing and burning on Medicare and Social Security, which is kind of the thing that he talked about a lot. And then there's the other piece of it, which is a showdown with the president usually doesn't work for Congress. I mean, he can still pistol whip them with the big microphone that is the presidential office, and he has the big microphone when it comes to this. And so more gridlock I don't think necessarily benefits the speaker and congressional Republicans.
I heard nothing in that speech that indicated gridlock. He's talking about closing some loopholes. That's going to hurt a lot of people on the right, but both sides are going to have to compromise. The president is going to have to compromise on entitlement reform, and he's going to have to take very seriously the fact that half the country, probably more than half the country, is not with him on raising the tax rates. But they'll go along, they won't like it, but they'll go along with closing some of these loopholes.
Yeah, people will go along with closing loopholes in a vacuum. People will go along with closing loopholes because closing loopholes sounds right, Sherry.
No, what I said was...
Wait, Sherry.
You didn't listen to what I said.
No, Sherry, I'm going to do this, Sherry. People are not going to like the closing of the loophole if it's a loophole they are using. If it's my mortgage interest, I don't like it. I would vote against it.
If it's my income tax, it's going to hurt all sides.
Yeah, but no one's going to be for any of it. Somebody's got to stand up and tell us, I don't care if you're for it or not. We're about to fall off a cliff. The nation's in trouble, and here's what we're doing. But does anybody have the wherewithal to stand up and tell us what we don't want to hear, but what the truth is, and that is we must make changes. I haven't found the person yet.
Well, that's going to happen, and I think it probably will be incumbent upon Speaker Boehner. He knows it's going to hurt people on the right, but he's saying that he'll do it, and now we need the president to come to the table and say he'll do the same thing, even if it hurts him with people on the left. So that's why I like what Speaker Boehner said. He knows it's going to hurt on his side. He set the parameters. He's reaching over across the table. The president needs to do the same thing.
Yeah, everybody needs to. You're right, Sherry. You couldn't be right. Don't mean to get riled up, but it's serious, isn't it, Sherry? I mean, nobody wants to...
It's very serious.
It's so serious. Nobody wants their loophole cut out. Nobody wants to pay more.
And we don't want class warfare either. And if we start hearing that language again from the president, he's going to lose a lot of people.
I mean, come on, that's campaign stuff. Class warfare. Come on now.
Well, hopefully it's over now, huh?
Hopefully the rhetoric calms down, but I'm not holding my breath from either side. It's whatever. I should read the words up here now. Western leaders stepping up the pressure on the Syrian regime that's killing its own people. U.S. officials say they could soon deploy Patriot missiles to Turkey.